That was an
Let's get
odd
on
thing to
to
step
Hobbs.
away.
Yeah, we'll talk about my topic. So the past week I have been marathoning a bunch of stuff. I found I posted in Discord, go on a tangent real quick, that Shinobi Kamen Rider series, which is ridiculous and funny. It's only 3 episodes so far, but I've enjoyed. It's basically the Tokusatsu Naruto that I never knew I needed.
Have you watched any other Kamen Rider?
Like episodes here and there, but not like the full series. So,
all right, explain it for our audience. What is the Kamen Rider series? Let's get right into that.
Well, this is not my topic. We'll save that for another time. I'm going to talk about a anime which I'd mentioned before on the podcast, wanting to see, and the second season just finished. So I've been marathoning it. I'm not quite done with the second season, but I got like 3 episodes left. I'm talking about Mob Psycho 100, which is originally a manga by One, who is the same mangaka behind the much-loved One Punch Man.
One pound!
Yeah, so Mob Psycho 100, much to my happiness, focuses more on the, or at least the art style is more of the classic One, like, weird character design, like, not super detailed, character models and stuff, which I just love the way he draws characters. The goofy kind of, like, if you've seen his stuff, you know what I'm talking about. Like, when One Punch Man's in the fights, he looks like a hard-ass anime character in the anime.
Murata.
Yeah, and then when he's just walking around, like, doing his daily stuff, he's the very simplistically drawn eyes and stuff.
He uses the mangaka One.
Yeah.
His art style is very, like, basic.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think they use that as the baseline for when, non-action stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, not One Punch Man. Mob Psycho 100 is about a boy named Shigeo Kageyama who has the nickname Mob, which is literally background characters, what it translates into. He's very unassuming. He has like a bowl haircut, and he's in middle school. He has like the button-up uniform. He very much doesn't stand out. The one cool thing about him is that he is a extremely powerful esper or psychic, and he basically he works part-time for basically a con artist psychic named Reagan, who takes him with him. He's convinced Mob that he's a super powerful psychic, and he's going to teach him basically the ropes. And when people are like, I can't sense your psychic pressure and stuff, he's like, well, it's just too powerful. It's so powerful that you literally can't register it. And he'll like say that to some of the spirits and stuff they encounter too. So a lot of the comedy comes from that, and it's pretty funny. So he's more of like the con man, like sly talker guy, and Mob is his muscle that when they run across evil spirits and stuff, he has to exorcise them. So the beginning of it is very much slice of life, like episodic slice of life. Like, we got a job, we go out and do the job, we meet some like new character, kind of a villain of the weeky kind of thing, before it starts building into some actual recurring plot. So basically, Mob, it sounds a lot like a kind of typical shonen action supernatural fight thing, and it's not really. Like, there are
of a gag.
No, thing? It's got a lot of comedy. It's and there are fights and stuff and all that, but it's more about kind of.
It is done by Bones, right?
Yeah, Bones is the studio, so you get really good animation. The fights are very beautiful when they do happen, and I love the first opening. Is like probably one of my favorite openings, just because it's so weird and stylized. But basically, Mob, Reagan kind of instills this kind of ideology into Mob. He's like, you cannot use your psychic powers to hurt people. Like you don't turn your knife on people, only use them on spirits. So he kind of like actually gets his morality and stuff from this kind of con man who's still like a good guy, and he actually like does help people. He doesn't like just straight up con them and sell them like beads that don't do anything or that stuff. He just kind of like charges him, and he doesn't really know what he's doing. He's just kind of using Mob to help him. But so Mob basically, his whole goal, kind of, at least like a small goal for him. There's a girl named Tsubomi that he has a crush on. He wants her to notice him. Basically, when they were really little kids, he showed her his psychic abilities, and at first she thought it was kind of cool.
Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah, and then she got really bored by it, like really fast. At one point, he's like making like something float around. He makes like a bar on a playground pole thing, kind of like wobble. Then he makes like a dog fly, and she's like, "I'm not really impressed by this anymore." And he's kind of like bummed out. So
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, so he wants to impress her, and Reagan basically says, kind of the theme of the whole show, kind of what he says to him. He's like, I know you have like really cool psychic powers and stuff, but that alone doesn't make you really that amount to anything. You kind of have to be more than just your psychic ability, Mob. So the show is more about Mob's character and how he wants to better himself outside of his psychic powers. You think the show would purely focus on like the psychic stuff, and it plays that way for like the first 2 episodes. And then there's a club called the Telepathy Club. They find out that he's an Esper, and the captain of the club's like, I want to talk to aliens. Can you help me talk to aliens? And he's like, probably. He's like, I'm not really in a club. And he has like a blank slate personality. He has like no, like, you just wouldn't notice him at all. He doesn't exude any kind of charisma or presence. And
he's Kuroko from Kuroko no Basket.
Yeah, kind of. And so they're like, join our club. Our last member left. The student council's going to abolish our club. And they spend the whole episode like going, help us join our club. And then like the student council president shows up, and there's the body, what's it called? It's like the body, they're basically like a workout club. Body improvement club is what they call themselves. Yeah. And then Mob's immediately like, Reagan told me that I had to improve myself beyond just my psychic abilities. So he immediately, while they're about to hand him the register thing, he like turns around and joins the body improvement club.
Oh, nice.
Because he thinks he has to work out to like.
They like juke you on your expectations.
And they're like the nicest guys in the whole show.
Nice.
They're awesome. They're like some of my favorite characters. They like constantly show up and help Mob and stuff, and like cheer him on and root for him. They're like, yeah, bro, you can just keep running, dude. You'll get there eventually. So the whole thing is about self-improvement, and it's kind of uses this, and it's not ham-fisted in the way other shonen do it, like your Naruto's and your Bleaches, where it's like that kind of whole overcoming, you know, the things that are your kind of hard times and stuff. This does it in a much better, not ham-fisted way. So yeah, there's eventually like a secret psychic organization that wants to take over the world. And he, much like One's other stuff, he's like the most powerful Esper, so he can just like kind of obliterate people. And the fights don't really even matter. That's like not real, just like One Punch Man. That's not really the point. Whereas like One Punch Man's more of like a satire of shonen tropes and kind of like a commentary on like Japanese like businessman work society kind of thing. Like this is more about him like bettering himself. It's got the Great Bones animation. The OPs are good. All the characters are funny. Like the villains are all good because it's basically his ideals that he got from Reagan and stuff about like how to become an adult and to improve yourself. Everyone else wants to use their psychic powers to kind of take like the shortcut and bully other people and use them against people. And Mob kind of is like, he just admits from the beginning, like, you know, I'm not really anything special. My psychic powers like don't really, I'm not going to use them to like get ahead, or they don't make me like a good person or anything. It's more, I have to improve and become that better person. So it's got a really good, I just love that kind of stuff. And he's funny and a great character. He deadpans constantly. And Reagan is also an amazing character. He gets really good character development later on. I can't really like spool stuff. But yeah, it's Bones. So Bones always
Is it good enough without the fights?
Yes. The first season was 12 episodes. Maybe like 2 to 3 episodes worth of that was actual fighting. The rest of it is like him doing stuff with his friends, doing jobs with Reagan. He eventually meets like a cult that tries to get him to join it, and they basically like possess you and put like a laughing curse on you. It's called the Laughing Cult, and he like basically banishes a spirit that's possessed like the head cultist guy, and it becomes a little side character, funny spirit thing that runs around with him named Dimple. It's really cute, and I just love the character style. I can't believe I didn't watch it soon enough, but I wanted to wait kind of till season 2 was done. And you can't really talk about much without spoiling it, but if you like shonen stuff, this is one of the better ones. When I get caught up on the anime, I'm going to start reading the manga. It's really good. I'm surprised kind of how good it was, and I didn't believe a lot when people were saying how good it actually is, but I love me some stories about like digging deep and finding self-improvement and hanging out with your bros and all that kind of stuff. And it's got cool fights too when the fights do happen. They're animated
the power of
beautifully.
friendship, Hobbs?
I do, but this is not about the power of just friendship in and of itself. It's about finding the power within yourself. Because you got it, you just got to work hard for it. That's the message of this manga. It's like, just because you're gifted in one thing, you can't stop there. There's always room for you to improve in something else, whether it's your smarts, athletics, not necessarily athletics, but like your physical stuff. Right. I mean, there's always something in your life that you can improve on, and that's kind of the message and the moral of the story. Don't take the easy way out, and don't just assume everything will be handed to you just because you're gifted in one area. So,
is it through Funimation?
Funimation is dubbing it, yes. I think they're currently airing the second season. I think it just started the dub of it. The first season obviously has been out for a while. Apparently had a spin-off manga about Reagan too. I didn't know that.
Oh.
I know who's doing it? Who's producing the second season?
It's Bones as well, I believe.
Bones.
Yeah,
that's interesting because Bones had, I think, the first season of One Punch, but now it's
Madhouse.
Which Madhouse does a good job too. They do.
I think no, maybe.
Yeah, and Bones is my hero as well. So.
Thank you. Let me see.
They're apparently just picking the best show.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. It's not Bones. It's Madhouse.
Yeah, it was Madhouse first, and now the second season is not
JC
as good.
staff.
Yeah.
Wow, it's JC staff.
Yeah,
that's surprising. What happened there?
I don't.
That's going to be an interesting work. But yeah, you would both would like this.
Yeah.
It's really. It's
I'm
just
actually
so good.
not a fan of One's character style. All that much, but I might give it a shot.
Yeah, it might irritate you then because everything is in that style. When he gets, it's called Mob Psycho 100 because he basically Mob kind of loses control when his emotional state gets to 100%. He kind of like bottles up and keeps his emotions deep down inside of him, and they eventually just spill out. And when he does, he loses control and basically goes like into full badass mode. He doesn't realize like he's hurting people at that point. And then they start drawing it like hyper realistic, and it does some cool stuff with the art. It kind of pulls shafts in some areas where it does some artsy stuff like with some black and white and some like painting drawings of some of the spirits and weird colorization and red lines and stuff. So they do some interesting stuff with the animation in it too. It's just really good. I can't recommend it enough. It's for sure one of the better shonen I've seen recently. So I'm really excited to watch the last few episodes and then start reading the manga. So yeah, that's Mob Psycho 100. If you're a shonen fan, you got no excuse not to try it. That's all I'm saying. I can't believe it took me this long, but here we are.
I might give it a shot. I might.
I think you would like it a lot, man. Actually,
would I?
I think so. Yeah.
I probably would. I enjoy things that kind of take tropes and have fun with them a lot, or mess around with them and ignore them.
Well, you also don't see a lot of psychic stuff in shonen. It's kind of like a power set that isn't really super explored, I would say. I mean, it's kind of generic. You would think there's like not a lot you could do with it, but people actually in the show have lots of different powers. Like some people can only read each other's minds. Some are super strong telekinetic, pyrotechnesis. Some like project energy and use it as weapons. There's like they fight with different abilities and stuff.
Yeah, I can only think of two off the top of my head. What is it? Not Index, but the Railgun. That's the one.
Yeah, Railgun. Mm-hmm.
And then there's the Psy something. I think it's more of a gag manga. It's in Shonen Jump.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Psy something. But yeah, it's not something that shows up often.
Yeah, so it's kind of a cool area to explore. It's got all the side characters are really good, and man, I can't recommend it enough. It's super solid. So watch it. Like I said, you got no excuse.
No excuse.
Anyways, this has been episode 81 of Podcast for Five Rings, your source of enlightenment in their own video games, tabletop, anime, film, and tech. Each episode of Podcast for Five Rings releases Monday mornings on iTunes and SoundCloud, and topic by topic, day by day on YouTube, with the full video releasing on Friday. Check us out on Twitter, Podcast5R, Facebook, P5R Podcast, YouTube channel, and Meta Stream, twitch.tv/PSOFlow, and Tets's blog. Mal, you remember it better than I do. I can't.
Geeky Spirit?
Geeky Spirit. I'm going to put this in the notes right now. Let's see. geekyspirit.com. Better be .com. Better not be no .org. We ain't about those .orgs.
We don't believe in orgs. We only believe in comms.
And nets. Nets are fun too.
That's all right. I got it.
.biz. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Goodbye.